Like, even the guy who was literally with him in the gym, he could be lying to my face, though, too. But he said he had no, recollection of them, no idea that they were doing anything. As far as he knows, it was all natural. I'm just like, yeah.
It's a weird world, isn't it? Like, where you're supposed to kind of be full of shit about that stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's so obvious to people.
Yeah.
Like, one of the interesting things.
I don't actually think it's problematic, by the way, for somebody to juice up for a role to represent a superhero character. It's more when they lie, but they also have marketing and or products centered around their physiques and what they achieved for that role. Like, for example, with Hemsworth, he has like this app that sold for $200 million that is centered around workouts and stuff. But some of the marketing around that will be like, train like Thor, this is what Thor did, how to get his physique sort of thing.
Yeah.
That's where it gets kind of murky, in my opinion, more so.
Yeah. Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with doing steroids to achieve that sort of physique for a movie either.
Yeah.
I do think there's something wrong with lying about it.
Yeah.
But there's also, if you went on a show, see, when Mickey Rourke did it, he did it for The Wrestler. When he talked about it, he talked about doing steroids for The Wrestler, and that was a movie that wasn't really about a hero. It was about a guy who's down and out, and he's all fucked up, and he's doing drugs, and he's a mess. Mm-hmm. It's not an admirable character that people would aspire to be, like Black Adam.
Yeah.
When you see The Rock and he's standing there with his shirt off, with his shorts on, there's not a man alive who doesn't want to be built like that. They all want to be built like that. So if he's telling you that he's not doing anything to get that, I don't know, and I don't know if he is. Is he telling people? Does he say, I've never taken steroids in my life? Does he say that?
He said in one instance that when he was 18, him and his friends took something and it gave him gynecomastia, and then he never touched it again or something like that.
That seems suspect.
Super suspect.
First of all, when you're 18, just doing something once is not going to give you gyno.
It
right?
could.
Could it really?
The most prevalence I've seen of gyno development is in individuals who, like, without enough information went into haphazard use of like a pro-hormone or like an oral steroid without understanding like the pharmacology around it, and then fuck themselves up.
One time?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Like you do like a heavy cycle of D-ball or something, get some gyno, and...
No shit. I thought it would take a few cycles.
To develop into like a significant matured titty, then yeah. But like it depends on the genetic predisposition, because some guys get gyno just through puberty too.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just a natural thing that just fucks up.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, him saying that he did something once when he was 18, he got gyno. Like, how'd you take care of it?
Yeah.
What'd you do to get rid of the gyno?
Yeah, presumably.
Right. You have to have an operation.
Yeah.
Like, people need to understand, like, that's not fluid. It's like a gland gets bigger, right?
Yeah, it's like literal glandular tissue that you need to get, like, surgically removed.
Have you ever seen it, the operation?
Oh, yeah, I've done videos on it.
Oh, that's right, you have.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
It's like you're pulling those little alien chest bursters out of your titty. It's amazing how much mass there is behind those things.
No, yeah. No, they, like, even for such, like, a little, something that's just barely protruding cosmetically, just at an objective look, when you actually look at what came out, it's like, damn.
Yeah.
That's a fuck ton of tissue.
It's a fucking egg.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gross. Yeah, but I mean, if that's all if he's saying that's all he's ever done, that's crazy talk.
Yeah. It's like at that point, it's weird. It's like trying to half tell the truth, but not
right
at all at the same time.
Also, when you look at his physique in the early days of the WWE.
Oh, nothing in comparison.
Yeah, let's go to like the early days of The Rock. I mean, he was like very athletic, great genetics, big, strong guy.
Yeah.
But he didn't look anything like he looks now. The mass and the striations and the vascularity.
This version of him did, but like this version definitely didn't.
Yeah, like that version. I mean, he's fit.
On the right, yeah.
Looks good, but look at the difference there.
Yeah.
He also had hair then.
Yeah, I mean, looks very fit. I mean, he's pretty jacked. That's more recent because that's the crazy tattoo. That's him now. I mean, this is much older. I mean, he's a fucking massive, heavily muscle
shots of him where it's just like.
So what kind of stuff do you think? Well, that was he looks pretty good there. He just doesn't look lean.
I think there was like type in The Rock, Scorpion King. I think that was an old enough movie where it was like on the red carpet, the guy just looked like a totally, I don't know, like a shell of what he is now, and that was a long.
Come on, not bad.
This is bad
I know,
CGI.
I actually
Didn't
never.
add it
Maybe
back.
this isn't a good example.
Why don't you look red carpet?
That's.
It looks pretty good there.
Yeah, that's good. I forget which.
Well, maybe on the red carpet he was off
yeah,
his cycle.
there was one picture where it just looked like dramatically different. I don't remember exactly what year it was, but okay, it wasn't that year.
Yeah, no, he looks pretty big. There.
Yeah.
Look, he's a giant dude, massive human being, and clearly when he's lean and he looks great. But
Yep.
what do you think you would have to do to achieve that kind of a physique at 50? First of all, you wouldn't maintain that kind of mass as you naturally got older, normally,
No,
right?
no, definitely not. Like it's like the total. Again, it's like there's a reason why I feel that your body naturally downregulates a lot of processes too, potentially to like conserve, like stay alive longer. Because the bigger of a human you are, the faster you're gonna die in general. Like I don't see many like 7-foot guys walking around at 80+ years old, personally.
Very few.
Yeah.
Isn't like Bill Russell was like one of the few?
He passed away.
How old was he though? He was quite
He was-
old.
Yeah. I think he got close to 90.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but in general, like even bodybuilders, like again, they're subjecting themselves to absurd amounts of drugs, but at the same time, like the sheer body weight and the stress it imposes on all organ systems and the longevity of everything internally, not just like it's all something that accelerates you towards death faster, like essentially. So it's like total antithesis of longevity at the end of the day.
Right.
So yeah, you're definitely not gonna be able to sustain that at 50, even on HRT. Like you're going to have to be, he's gonna have to like transiently push the envelope fairly often if he's doing multiple rolls on a consistent basis that require this look. And it seems like he's been like pretty fucking dialed about maintaining it like year over year now.
Yeah, he's never really gotten thin or fat or never shrunk down then built back up.
Like, there's definitely something about once you've built the tissue, you can retain it with like a very modest amount, or at least to some extent. Like it's still going to typically be something outside of what would be normally achievable in terms of your hormone production, because if you went totally natural, you would just fucking melt away. But a lot of it is the building the muscle. I'm sure you can attest to building muscle is magnitudes harder than it is to just like hold your physique.
Yes.
So like you could get away with maybe working out like a few times a week with like very moderate volume and maintain exactly what you have, but to actually build, you're going to have to go into a surplus. You're going to have to increase your volume. You're going to have to increase your, your rest, your sleep quality, duration, etc. Like it's all very demanding.